Hi, it's time for Street Talk, your voice and your views on the issues in the news. They're stranded on the border between Iraq and Syria, but now Palestinian refugees are turning their makeshift camp into a bustling village. The 1,700 former Iraqi residents were turned away by Syrian authorities when they tried to escape the deteriorating security situation. Now, with the help of organizations, including the United Nations Refugee Agency and the Iraqi Red Crescent, the encampment is developing a life of its own. Some of the residents talked about the conditions there.
As you know, we are living in a desert, not in a city. The situation here is terrible. People are psychologically and financially strained. So I opened this cafe to try to alleviate people's burden somewhat, a place where they could be entertained.
There was nothing but tents in this camp. Life was dull and the refugees became very bored. So we opened shops. There are many talented people here who could use their skills as a source of income to lighten their burden.
Of course, everyone has left many friends and loved ones behind in Baghdad. We have been here for over a year and 2 months. So we have to kill time with some type of activity. This activity helps kill time while also reviving Palestinian heritage.
Now, what would China gain or lose by pressuring Sudan to stop the humanitarian crisis in Darfur? That was one of our questions of the week, and it prompted a lot of viewer discussion on our YouTube website. A viewer in Australia believes any pressure on Sudan will be short-lived. This precedent would open the doors for others to interfere in Chinese domestic politics. However, China will pay lip service to this issue, at least until the Olympics is over. After that, it won't care what the rest of us think. A viewer in the US thinks the world needs to look farther afield. The China-Sudan connection gets all the attention. Why does no one ask about the Japan-Sudan connection? In 2007, the top recipient of Sudan's oil was not China, but Japan. Another viewer in the US sees other advantages than just oil reserves. Intervention of the crisis in Darfur can greatly benefit China in terms of the admiration and respect from the world it would receive. The Doomsday Vault is now complete. Norway's Svalbard Global Seed Vault, as it's otherwise known, has been built to store 1.25 billion seeds from all over the world to protect the food supply in case disaster strikes. The samples are stashed in an archipelago deep inside a mountain in the Arctic Ocean. They're impervious to the effects of rising sea levels and global warming. I guess scientists are obviously making sure they can cope with anything serious that crops up. And that's it for this edition. Next week's question of the week is, what can Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas accomplish by resuming peace talks with Israel? Please post a video mail or email on our YouTube website. We'll try to get to the best ones in the show. And do keep sending in your questions and comments to point us towards anything interesting or amusing for Street Talk. Remember, what you see here isn't necessarily the view of Al Jazeera, and some of the content's been edited, but for time and space reasons only. And that's the talk on the street.